Greetings, back with another one. Oh man, it's a sad day, man. I just recently found out I was just scrolling on YouTube as one does, and I saw a bunch of thumbnails, and I just wanted to see if this was accurate, and apparently, well, unfortunately, it is. Martial arts great, action star great, one of the most inspirational, one of the most iconic figures in American history. I could say, man. Chuck Norris, man, has died, and I believe he. I was it. Was it yesterday? I believe. I think it was. Yeah, I believe it was yesterday. I'll go through it in a minute, but it says, I'm here on Variety, and it says, Chuck Norris, action icon and Walker Texas Ranger star, has died at 86. I haven't seen Chuck Norris recently, but I've seen some photos of him, and I didn't know if he was ill or anything like that. But it happens once you get up there in age, man. And Chuck Norris has done a lot for the world of martial arts, the world of film. He's always had heavy support of our military and stuff like that. But I just wanted to read this Variety piece about him, so we can send off Mr. Norris in the right way possible, man. I haven't been posting in a while, but unfortunately, this is my coming back after because I haven't uploaded probably like a month. I've just been just I guess you could say I just been taking a break. But I had to talk about this one. I mean, we lost Rich Norton not too long ago, and I believe we lost Bob Wall a few years back, and now Chuck, man. I mean, I tell you right now, man. My uncle, he loved Chuck Norris, man. He loved Bruce Lee too, but he loved Chuck Norris, man. Every time I would go over there to my cousin's house to visit him, and he was always on the couch, you know, watching Walker Texas Ranger and stuff like that. I didn't really watch too much of Chuck's films. Like the only film I saw like when he first started out was The Way of the Dragon, when he went up against Bruce Lee and that iconic fight sequence at the Coliseum. And then I remember some of his films, like Delta Force was a big one, Good Guys Wear Black and stuff like that. But let me stop rambling. I'll, go through this article and then, finish up it in. It says, Chuck Norris, the martial arts champion who became an iconic action star and led the hit series Walker Texas Ranger, has died. He was 86. It says Norris was hospitalized in Hawaii on Thursday, and his family posted a statement Friday saying that he died that morning. While we would like to keep the circumstances private, please note that he was surrounded by his family and was at peace, his family wrote. Got a few blockers on here, so. It says, to the world, he was a martial artist, actor, and a symbol of strength. To us, he was a devoted husband and a loving father and grandfather, an incredible brother, and the heart of our family. The statement continued, he lived his life with faith, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to the people he loved. Through his work, discipline, and kindness, he inspired millions around the world and left a lasting impact on so many lives. Yes, he did, mine included. As an action star, Norris had a degree of credibility that most others could not match. Not only did he appear opposite to the legendary Bruce Lee in 1972 film The Way of the Dragon, aka Return of the Dragon, but he was a genuine martial arts champion who was a black belt in judo, third degree belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, fifth degree black belt in karate, eighth degree black belt in taekwondo, ninth degree black belt in Tong Sudo, and 10th degree belt in Chung Kuk Do, which was his own style that he came up with, Chung Kuk Do. Now, Chuck being very big in the South Korean style, the Tong Sudo and the Taekwondo and stuff like that. A lot of people don't understand about because even further back, Taekwondo, Sumbak. It's a lot of people see when you look at a Taekwondo and Tong Sudo is the South Korean styles. It's a lot of kicking. It's like 80+% kicking and stuff like that. But once you get up there in the ranks, particularly like in Tong Sudo and Sumbak. Then you get into you start seeing like the Chinese influence and stuff like that with the circular movements and the sticky hands and stuff like that, which I didn't know. I've met some martial artists who were very big in the South Korean side of the house, and they inform me of a lot of that stuff because normally when you see competitions and demonstrations and stuff like that, you mostly see just what they do with the lower half of the body, but it's a lot of blocking and trappings that I've seen in some of the South Korean systems too, which was very surprising to see. And it's no doubt in my mind that Mr. Norris, delved into that as well. I mean, being ninth degree in Tong Sudo and you know eighth in Taekwondo and stuff like that is truly amazing, man. But yeah, but he got into. It seems like a lot of people get into jujitsu. It's the Brazilian style of jujitsu. I particularly like the more traditional jujitsu. But anything helps, man. I mean, if it helps to look after yourself, why not learn to use it? Proceed. Said Norris was extremely prolific in the late 70s and 80s, starring in the Delta Force, the Missing in Action films, Good Guys Wear Black, The Octagon, Lone Wolf McQuade, Code of Silence, and Firewalker. Norris joined a bevy of other action stars, and Sylvester Stallone directed The Expendables 2 in 2012 after an absence from the screen of 7 years. While he scored high on credibility, Norris did not levy his work with humor the way Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, and Jackie Chan did. He was nevertheless the action star of choice for those seeking an all-American icon. In 1984, Norris starred in Missing in Action, the first in a series of films centered around the rescue of American prisoners of war, purportedly still held after being captured during the Vietnam War. Says Norris' younger brother, Whelan, had been killed while serving in Vietnam. I did not know that. And Action dedicated his Missing in Action films. See, yeah, I never seen Missing in Action. I need to go back and look at that one, Missing in Action films, to his brother's memory. But critics of Norris and producer Cannon films maintain that the films borrowed too heavily from the central conceit of Stallone's highly successful Rambo films. Well, I mean, a lot of those films are heavily military, and it takes place around that same time, Vietnam and all that stuff. So, I mean, yes, you're going to probably see some, duplicated, type of methods in how you shoot and how you tell the story, stuff like that. So, I guess, I mean, especially for people who've served in our military stuff like that, I guess they can, understand that, how much more can you do? I mean, I would say the biggest difference that you can separate from a Stallone film from a Norris film, obviously the martial arts. I don't know if Mr. Stallone has any martial arts background. He's probably has like a boxing background maybe, but especially with all the Rocky films. But Chuck Norris was deep into martial arts and stuff like the martial science. So when you watch a Norris film, best believe you're going to see some different variety of kicks and stances, and I guess you could say a lot of psychology too. Is a big it's a big division in terms of the psychology that goes into martial arts films. A lot of people, we just want to see just the combat and stuff like that. But when you watch any of these martial arts, it doesn't matter who it is. All of these martial artists who went into film, it's a great deal of philosophy that goes into them and just the approach. And I think that martial arts films or martial artists who become actors who make these films, I think they should get more of recognition than what they do. I mean, you never really see martial arts who go into acting winning any type of awards and stuff like. Even though that's, I mean, take it or leave, you really don't. I mean, like I said, I mean, even if, like I said, because I'm trying to get into acting myself, so it's just, I mean, you really don't do it for the rewards, I guess. But I just wish that those films had a lot more recognition, especially for people who have made such a mark on the world, like a Chuck Norris, man. I mean, it's so much to be learned there. But let me continue. It says, as Norris' movie career began to wane, he made a timely move to television, starring in the CBS series Walker Texas Rangers. See, that's where I mostly know him from. I mean, I remember seeing the Delta Force and some of the films he did in the '80s. But Walker Texas Ranger, that was like that was, I watched it religiously with my uncle. Man, he was a diehard fan of that show, and that's when, 'cause like I said, I was, born in the '80s, grew up in the early '90s and stuff like that. So Chuck Norris in the '90s was kind of a big thing for me. And I remember he did a film with what's that kid's name? The actor, child actor. I know his last name was Brandis. I forget his name, but he was in that film Sidekicks with him, and that was a very fun film too. I mean the score and everything. It was a very fun. I forget it. Was it Thomas Brandis? I can't remember his name. Let me look it up because I'm gonna drive myself crazy. Because and the thing about YouTube, they put a lot of free films on YouTube and stuff like that, and that's where I seen it. Because I remember seeing it back in the day when I was a kid, but it was in the '90s. It was called Sidekicks. But what was that kid's name? Jonathan Brandis. That was him. Yeah, rest in peace to him. We lost him at a young age. John Brandis, yes, but he was in that. Mako was in that too. If you don't remember Mako, he was in the Conan the Barbarian films. He was in there. Was it Julia Nixon? She was in there as well. But that was a very fun film too. Yeah, but Walker Texas Ranger, man, that was it for me, man. I used to watch it all the time. But and it says inspired by this film, Lone Wolf McQuade. The program ran from 1993 to 2001, and the actor reprised the role of Cordell Walker in the TV movies Walker Texas Ranger 3: Deadly Reunion in 1994, and Walker Texas Ranger Trial by Fire in 2005. I never seen the Texas Rangers films. I need to go back and watch those as well. I never seen those. I've always knew about them, but I never got around to seeing them. Also in 2005, Norris made the last film in which he starred to the straight to DVD, The Cutter. I've heard of that too. I didn't see that one. In his later years, Norris was portrayed in memes, documenting fictional or frequently absurd feats associated with him, such as Chuck Norris kills 100% of germs, and and paper beats rock, rock beats scissors, and scissors beats paper. But Chuck Norris beats all three at the same time. In his later years, Norris appeared in infomercials for workout equipment and became increasingly outspoken as a political conservative. Yeah, and I can respect that, because a lot of people who go into show business, they kind of, you would know that they were, conservative or right leaning or anything like that, because they seem to kind of be, kind of like I don't want to say outcast, but they kind of seem to be not favored, I guess you can say, especially when they come out about their views and stuff like that, because we all know that, I guess you could say, the world of entertainment is probably more, left and right, which is fine. But it's very rare where you hear, people who go into, entertainment to really be upfront about, their beliefs and stuff like that. So I can respect Chuck Norris for that. But yeah, but Carlos, yes, his real name was Carlos. I knew that too. My grandmaster told me that one, because we all knew him as Chuck. But wherever people got their stage names. I even got a stage name myself. But yeah, but Carlos Ray Norris was born in Ryan, Oklahoma. His father served as a soldier in World War II, and in 1958 he joined the Air Force as an air policeman. While serving at Osan Air Base in South Korea, Norris first acquired the nickname Chuck and began his training in Tong Sudo, leading to his achievements in other martial arts and his development of the hybrid style Chung Kodo, the universal way. I believe that was his own style. He returned to the U.S. and served as an AP at the March Air Force Base in California. After his 1962 discharge, Norris worked for aerospace company Northrop and opened a chain of karate schools. Celebrity clients at the schools include Steve McQueen, Chad McQueen, Bob Barker, Priscilla Presley, Donny Osmond, and Marie Osmond. It says I believe he opened up some schools with Bob Wall. I believe Bob Wall and him were kind of like business partners in a way, open up schools, especially in the West Coast. I believe so, because I remember Bob Wall talking about that, because he and Bob Wall were close friends as well. Norris made his acting debut in an uncredited role in a 1969 cult Matt Helm film, The Wrecking Crew. Heard about that. Starring Dean Martin. Norris met Bruce Lee at the martial arts demonstration in Long Beach, California, and played the nemesis of Lee's character in 1972 movie The Way of the Dragon, retitled Return of the Dragon for U.S. distribution. In 1974, McQueen's spurred Norris to begin taking acting classes at MGM. And I remember seeing Chuck Norris on Arsenio Hall show back in the day, and he was talking about when he first started acting. He had an acting coach and stuff like that, and he was like telling him like to open his mouth and stuff like that. It was funny the way he told the story. So if you wanted to check that out, feel free to go check that out. It was very funny. Norris starred in the 1977 action film Breaker Breaker, in which he played a trucker searching for his brother, who's disappeared in the town with a judge who's corrupt. The actor proved his box office mettle with his subsequent films Good Guys Wear Black, The Octagon, An Eye for Eye, and Lone Wolf McQuade. Norris began starring in movies for Cannon Films in 1984. Over the next 4 years, he became Cannon's most prominent star, appearing in 8 films, including the 3 Missing in Action, Code of Silence, one of the best films, the 2 Delta Force. I love the Delta Force. That was probably that's probably my favorite film he did. And well, even though I didn't get to see a lot of them, I need to go back and watch them. But Delta Force, that was the one I most remember. Delta Force and Good Guys Wear Black and Missing in Action. I got to see Missing in Action. I have to see that. And Firewalker. Norris's brother Aaron Norris produced several of those films, and also became a producer of Walker, Texas Ranger. That I do remember. I do remember him talking about that. A longtime supporter of conservative politicians, he wrote several books with Christian and patriotic themes. Norris was twice married. The first time to Diane Holchek from 1958 until their divorce in 1988. He is survived by his second wife, Gina O'Kelly, whom he married in 1998. 3 sons, Eric, Mike, and Dakota. Daughters, Danny Lee and Dina, and a number of grandchildren. Oh, wow. We all know that, death is, it comes for us all. It's inevitable for us all. But, Chuck Norris just seemed like one of those guys who would just live forever, man. The guy just seemed invincible, I mean, I can't think of one avenue of entertainment that he hadn't crossed into. I remember seeing him on the WWF programs back in the day. The guy was everywhere, man. Like this is, and I remember, and one of the things I liked what he said it was actually in the film Sidekicks when he was talking to Brandis' character. They were sitting on the bench outside the martial arts tournament building. And he said to him, dreams do come true, Barry, if you want them bad enough. And that really stuck with me, man. I remember seeing that on VHS, man. And just, when you look at a guy like Chuck Norris, you just see inspiration, you see toughness, you see grit, you see this will to win, this never say die, this never give up attitude. That's what I always got from Chuck. Just this overwhelming abundance of positivity, man. But yeah, man, I just want to, salute you, Chuck. And thank you, man. Thank you for your contribution to martial arts, to film, to everything that you did, man. I know your family's probably going through a lot right now, and, my condolences goes out to them. So thank you, Chuck. Thank you. Thank you. But all right, y'all, I'm out, man. 31 cents added. Another one for the archives. It's your brother Bleak. Until next time, you guys. Us.